Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Len. Today's March 3rd, 2025. And behind me is the 2021 Jeep Gladiator with my version 3 DIY fiberglass camper. Today's clips you're going to be seeing are recorded in August and September of 22, prior to version 2 of this camper going to the west coast, BC, 10,000 kilometer road trip. Okay, so here's the whole cut. It's all prepped. It's all being flap disced down, gets the gel coat off. There's sort of a ledge here, that's where the panel is going to fit into. I'm going to use a Worth bonding agent / seal, because I still want a little bit of flexibility in the panel. And then here's the panel itself, again all prepped, gel coat removed, and it's being wiped down with acetone. So now I'll just get it into place. About 8 hours work today. Got a larger 30-inch window in, and behind it right now sealing with a Worth adhesive is a 2x2 that was trimmed to fit back in behind, so the window's just going to screw to it. I'm not going to use the trim ring on the inside just because the depth of the window, so I just put some framing in there, another piece of frame there, and actually aluminum across the bottom. So this helps to keep the window nice and square to the fiberglass, because the fiberglass originally had a little bit of a bow to it, so that straightens it out for the window. That's the other pieces of 2x2 is back in here being secured with all these screws. Bodywork's being done to fill up this seam here. It's mostly done across here. I'm into the finer fiberglass filler. So after I sand this down just a touch, wipe it down with acetone, take the window out, I'll be fiberglass mat, probably 2 layers right across this whole seam. Up here, this piece in my hand is off of one of the tops that I had. It's actually going to go, it's hard to tell. It's going to cover this. This seam here is a little rough. So this is actually going to get adhered right about there. I'll trim it to fit better. Right somewhere along here. I'll trim up this end over here, and then I'll blend it in across the top. This will sort of be a bit of a rain guard over the window. Okay, here's the start of the driver's side. So I cut out a very large panel. I'm gonna put in the blue piece, and then work a smaller window and a hatch into this. I'll probably do the window at the back and the hatch at the front. So preparation for the Worth adhesive, I flap disc off all the crap that's on them, and then wipe down with acetone. So. There's a large blue panel now temporarily secured, just all fitting. I get my screws ready with backing plates. So really thickening it up on this edge and that edge with fiberglass. And there they have a square edge in them, because that's where the edge of the window will go. So now I've got to secure this in using my Worth adhesive, and then I'll start glassing it in place. Right, so see what this will record with being inside. So here's what I'm using. You probably can't see it. It's a Worth glue and seal adhesive. So I get my first plate, This one is going here. So that's going to give me a stronger bond here and a square edge for where my window goes. So I'll put this side on first. Screw in lightly. This lines it back up with all the screw holes that I put in it. I'll find them. Right there. I'll start screwing these all in tighter. Just that one. Maybe I should just put this on upside down. So I did need to put my adhesive on the wrong side to start, but that's okay. My holes. I don't know if you can see in here, so there's about 15 screws holding this all together. See them all here? And you wonder, so there's gonna be all kinds of screw holes that have to be filled in, but not really. The screw holes will help when it comes time to glassing because the resin will go into the holes and help bond the fiberglass and the resin and the chop mat. So you see how it's sort of indented down here, so that way when I put the chop mat on and build up my resin and other fiberglass materials. So it might be hard to see here. So what I did, I drilled a hole here and a hole here, which are on the edge of my backing plate. Same on the other side. Then I used that. So I drilled from the back side because then I know exactly where they are. Then I used the scribe and my square off of here to draw my line where that backing plate is. Did the same on the other end. So that's where the edge of the window is going to go. So all this here is coming out, even though we just put it in place. But I have to secure the top edge before I cut this out, or else this here would be too flimsy. On the other side, I'd cut it shorter and then had to patch a piece back in. So on this side, what I'm going to do is groove this out so it'll flex, and then these two will bond together, and eventually my rain trim piece will go. So I cut this, cut it about 90%, cut it through in a whole bunch of spots and just leave little bits so it'll fold. And then I put a eyelet on it, and on the inside to this hooky thing to a ratchet strap, and that'll hold it in place while it bonds in place. Okay, so here's what this side will look like with the window and a hatch. Right now I've got the hatch opening towards the bottom, sort of, so it would become like a table. I can flip it over if I want. I'm not sure yet. I need to do all the body work up on the top. Lots of body work to start now. So I saved doing a lot of finishing body work on the other side and lots of places, so I can do a lot of resin and fiberglass at once instead of mixing it up 2 or 3 times. Okay, so all of my inner structural support for around the windows is done. Bits of bodywork here and there to level things out on the outside so I get a better seal. Now I'm ready to do some chop mat in numerous places on both sides and let that that'll cure till tomorrow. Then I'll finish up some window trimming. So I have a whole bunch of strips of chop mat ready to go. Just like that. I got a few smaller pieces, so I got a whole bunch of strips, and if I need more to cut, I have a full sheet over there I can cut real quick. Don't like to cut too much of it. Okay, I got my resin here mixed up, so now I'm going to start putting it on. And the key with fiberglassing is to wet out, so put a lot of resin on the surface first. So we're going to start at the front here. Brush here. Brush those. Mix it with. So you just put in a whole bunch. Get it all nice and sloppy and wet on there. So take a strip. Put it on there. Break down the fibers by using a lot of resin. That's the key to getting it to work properly. Some more on here, slop it on, get it nice and wet. Put a couple pieces on there. Make sure it's good and wet. Bottom layer, so we've got to get that real good and wet before the top layer goes on. Like so, now we can put that one on. Okay, I'm starting to put on one of the finishing layers of glass. This is what I'm using. U-pole sandable fiber filler. So I drill a whole bunch of holes. There was lots existing, but now I'm drilling a whole bunch more holes where it's going to go. So this way it bonds better. Goes through and it bonds. So hundreds of holes drilled. Now I put that on, let it cure, sand it. So I'm just working on some of this, just smoothing things out. Doesn't have to be perfect. There'll be some pinholes, but this coating actually fills up some of those little pinholes. So just smoothing things out. Gonna make sure it's all nice and level at the corners of the window. This I still have to do my contour here, but I did some patchwork here, contour there, put a bit of bodywork here left to do. Front for the windows all trimmed up. I'm not going to make this super smooth and finished. This will be not bad through here. This front edge will be cleaned up properly, but all through here it doesn't have to be super good because that's in behind the Jeep. So as we move along with less and less imperfections, now I'm using the U-pole Stronghold 706. This sticks to SMC and fiberglass. SMC is what's you just take a big wad out, lump, 2 drops of hardener, not too much. That there is plenty. Maybe one more little dab, just to speed it up. And you really want to mix this. Don't just go around in circles either. Spread it far and wide. Thin it out. Okay. Mix it for about 1 minute. We've got about 6 minutes working time. And I won't be able to show you me applying it. So here's some that product put on. It's just very thin, skimmed on. You can see it all down there. Okay, so here's where we're at. It's back on the Jeep. I've been doing some body work and painting while it's up on the Jeep. The windows are in. This will be like a rain guard. It's going to extend out, so I got to glass all this. I'm out of glass right now, so this will be glassed and painted. So that'll help water get over this top edge. Let's see. Up inside, my panel that I cut isn't going to work right. I got to do a little bit of trimming. It's actually that 1 inch. See if I can show you here. Probably not. But up underneath there, there's a 1 inch strengthening brace on the panel. You can sort of see it back in there. It's hitting the roof, so that's got to come out. Okay, so there's fitment of the driver's side hatch and window. Most of the bodywork's done. I just got I got some bit of sanding to do. A little bit more of bodywork to put on and sand it down. Looking pretty good. Today I'm actually going to configure the back door frame. That's the frame there. There's the door. I'm going to try and configure that into place. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, once again, thanks for watching. We'll be getting caught up in a few days of more clips of the version 2. Again, version 3 is behind me. In version 3, give you a little bit of a teaser. There's the back door, but it's actually on a slide out, so it slides out onto the tailgate to give me more room. In version 2, I slept on a diagonal because the Jeep box is only like 5'2" or 5'5". I can't remember exactly. So version 3 here got a slide out so I could sleep down one side. Again, that's for future videos. Guess that's a bit of a teaser. And yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Oh, I keep looking in the wrong spot here. Sorry. Whoop. Okay. So again, thanks for watching, and be safe.